And a good sunny morning to you on this first full day of spring. Well, that offshore nor'easter will pass well out to sea. This will be affecting a very far southeastern corner of the state around Windham County and points south, mainly coastal southern and eastern portions of New England. That'll happening tonight, Sunday night, as well as into the day on Monday. It'll be pretty far to the southeast to see much more than just some high cloudiness. Main utility concern this upcoming period here will be Thursday night and Friday morning. This with a southeasterly gradient with potential along the western Green Mountain slopes, the usual areas. Doesn't look like looks like your typical run-of-the-mill type system we've seen so often this winter season. Also included with that will be some mixed precipitation, a little bit of wet snow, but no impact for utilities, but a travel issue for sure. That'll be Wednesday. With one little zippy weather system working on through, and then mainly Thursday into Thursday night with a warmer transition storm. Colder air returns on the backside, a departing area of low pressure. That'll happen mostly as you get into the day on Friday. Good project weather days the rest of today, Sunday, as well as this Tuesday, and possibly next Saturday. This is the GFS model. This is this morning. We can see colder temperature anomalies. This is standard deviation. So a little cooler, but that cooler air is going to be working on out of the region. Running the model here real quickly. This is the GFS, and you can see a little warmer trends working in. And this will continue for a good portion of this week aloft. This is about 4,500 feet elevation, and with that warm transition, and then down the road a piece, we'll be seeing slightly cooler air trying to make it in as a departing area of low pressure begins to work into the region. But the overall takeaway here is at least aloft, temperatures are starting to warm up, and we're seeing less chances for snow, although we'll have some wet snow issues, and we'll be watching that. Currently this morning we have a ridge of higher pressure. These are the 500 millibar thicknesses, and you can see this big ridge of higher pressure with warmer temperatures out to the west. Of course, a trough of lower pressure with this developing system that's jet stream energy is going to be working in off the coast, and that passes well to the southeast of our region. Sort of in the southern branch of the jet stream. The northern branch of the jet stream has several short waves, and this is going to be supplying occasionally some colder air. Note how cold it is. Temperature is actually below zero up in parts of Canada. Doesn't take a whole lot to try to pull some of this down. So typical springtime tug of war. Any southerly flow warms us up. Any northerly flow will cool us down. We'll have both this week. Okay, well, starting with tonight, we're looking at the conditions here with that area of low pressure tracking off the coast to the southeast of us, and really not affecting Vermont except for maybe a little bit of Windham County with a little bit of light snow, but it's mainly a coastal areas of really from Long Island back into the southeast Massachusetts Capes. That's where the main snow is going to be, and it looks like there could be a few inches there. The system then moves off toward Nova Scotia. A little ridge of higher pressure builds in. This will be for Tuesday. And then a little short wave here, jet stream energy along kind of a weird frontal boundary is going to track real quickly, almost like a clipper, 1,005 millibar low. So watching that, this kind of develops and then pushes in across our region. And it looks like it splits and bisects the state of Vermont with a little bit of rain to the south, a little bit of snow to the north. Minor wet snow, really not a utility impact here. This is currently looking at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Wednesday. So running that one more time, you can see a lot of thickness packing here, indicating very cold conditions right here. That's kind of a shot of Arctic air moving across and then out into the Canadian Maritimes. That's a good place for it. And then what we're looking at is this next weather system. So what's going to happen is this is going to leave a frontal boundary either a little to the south or perhaps right through the area here, sort of bisecting the state. And this is going to lift north as a warm front as more jet stream energy comes into this system, spins up an area of low pressure lee of Colorado, and then this will be tracking toward the St. Lawrence River Valley. So running the models here. This is the European model, so it lifts that through and we get some precipitation a little bit more significant. And we're talking about a typical overrunning transition. You can see the thickness packing here in the red dashes. That's temperature is warm enough for rain. So indeed, we're looking at some snow changing over to rain, typical kind of transition kind of deal. And as that moves north, and then out it'll wrap around with some more snow. We are looking at the pressure gradient being tight enough to produce a little bit of a gradient wind issue, so this is something we'll be watching. When is this? This is basically Thursday night into Friday morning, 995 millibar low. If it stays like that, that's not necessarily a huge issue, kind of run-of-the-mill impacts that we've seen so many times already this winter season. High pressure builds in on the backside of this system, looks like for Saturday. And just looking beyond that, it looks like a very similar kind of return flow as we warm back up again. And then potentially some more rainfall, maybe some mixed precipitation down the road a piece the next period. And then looking at the GFS, this is the latest GFS 06E model run. High pressure builds in for Tuesday, then beyond that, we have this area of low pressure that's kind of tracking, and you can see rain to the snow to the north and rain to the south. So kind of a complex situation setting up, and something we'll have to watch with the warm front lifting on through. It doesn't produce a lot of snow, but perhaps maybe 2 to 3 inches in some of the northern areas, something we'll be watching as we get into the mid to end of the week. Then that area of low pressure then tracks away from us, colder air returns on the backside and so forth, and there's the high pressure system setting up for basically on Saturday. GFS ensemble, you can see the good weather today and into tonight, tiny bit of snow, although I wouldn't count on that. And then the real area we're looking at is the 24th, 25th, into the 26th of March. This is just a jumbled mess, and any number of precipitation types with overrunning transitions to warmer air and then colder air on the backside of the system as it moves, the system departs and moves out. 7-day accumulated precipitation looks like a little heavier amounts, various areas here, but nothing really to take away from this except it dries out in the southwest deserts. El Nino weather pattern with more storms coming out of the Pacific still continues to affect areas of Northern California and the West Coast. And let's jump to temperature real quick here, and this is the weighted overall 5-day maximum temperatures. Running about 3 to 6 degrees north, temperatures a little bit warmer above normal to the south, and that's part and parcel with that warm front or frontal boundary that's going to be situated bisecting the state. About 3 days later, the warm front overruns and pushes warmer temperatures into the region, so that neutral 0 degree Celsius is kind of indicating colder to the north. Accumulated snowfall, the co-op observer stations you can see there. But what really tells the story, 25 inches at the Stake, 1 inch at Walden in the Standard Mountains, and that's it. So in summary, our main issue here for utilities is going to be the gradient wind event that right now looks like it'll be Thursday night into Friday. And you can see some of the higher elevations seeing winds potentially greater than 50 miles an hour. And then that quickly falls apart as we get into the afternoon hours by 2 p.m. Friday afternoon. That's it from here. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights.